The game that we are going to look at today is going to showcase two things. The first is that I'm an idiot, and I have lots to learn about chess and the strategy and patterns. I'm not a very good player, but I have a lot of fun playing. The second thing that this game is going to showcase is that no matter what position you are in, no matter if you think you are winning or losing, never give up. Because the most important piece in chess, in a rated game of chess, is not any single piece on the board. It is, in fact, the timer. The game that we're going to look at today comes down to literally the last 0.6 seconds of the match. And there's a lot of stuff that happens in between. This is like a 76 or 70, this is a 73 move game before it finally ended. And I promise you, this is going to be a roller coaster for all of you, because I made some mistakes, my opponent made some mistakes, and we get down to the last half of a second before the game ends. So before we jump into this game, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support on the channel and the videos as of late. I really do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, which is like 96% of you watching right now, consider hitting that subscribe button, like the video. It helps more people find the content. And I'm just trying to build a fun community of people who enjoy watching chess, learning about chess, getting better at chess, and laughing at me being an idiot while I play chess. So if that interests you, again, I would appreciate a subscription. Hang out, come and watch some more videos. I'm uploading every single day here. And now we can jump into this abysmal game that took 73 moves to play. I'm not going to be doing a deep analysis this game. This is more of a game that I played. I didn't record it, and I'm interested to know what some of you would do in the later positions of this game, and also just to kind of showcase how time is truly very important in rated games. And if you get into a position where you're not happy with where you're at, you can try to run the timeout and still gain some rating points. So we start out here with the king's pawn opening. I decide to mirror the king's pawn opening, and we have the Marcosi defense. I don't know, the Perk defense, the whatever this opening is. Again, I'm still learning a bunch of openings, specifically for the black side. I've learned a lot of the white openings, not a lot of the black openings. And when I say a lot, I mean like 3 out of the hundreds of potential openings that exist. So I end up bringing my knight out to f6. So right now I'm attacking here. I'm defending this pawn from this attack. I'm just trying to develop some pieces, and we are going to end up taking here. It was undefended. There's no reason not to. We're now going to pin this knight to the queen, and this is not a great move. It ends up tilting the favor of the game into white's favor at like 70%, 75%. He's going to take, I'm going to move up for some reason, I guess to defend my rook, which does make sense. We do want to defend the rook, but I'm in a bad spot here. I'm in a bad situation. I end up deciding to trade, which was another horrible decision. The beginning of this game was terrible for me because instead of him doubling up a pawn, he just gets a free bishop. I should have moved backwards. I should have moved this way. I should have done literally anything other than give away my bishop for free, which is frustrating. I end up deciding to kind of open up the middle of the board, try to make some moves here by putting some pressure onto the queen. We've got the pawns working over here. This isn't a pretty game to watch, okay? I'm telling you right now, this is ugly and it's disgusting and I'm ashamed of myself. But there are things to learn here, okay? There are things to learn. There are still interesting things to look at. We're less than 2 full minutes into the game. All right, we're only on move 11. We have 62 more moves to go. So continuing development on my side, I'm deciding because I've got a decent fortification over here, I'm going to castle on the queen side. I think this is queen side. Yes, queen side castle. And we're kind of leaving this rook out to die. We're leaving, not to die, but he's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere land. We've got this bishop that's also pretty blocked up. I mean, there are opportunities for it to move, but the development in this game was not spectacular. He ends up deciding to castle on king side. And now we're going to continue this pressure onto the queen. I think one of the problems that I'm having, or not even a problem that I'm having, but something that I should be more conscious of, is should I be playing aggressive or defensive chess? And obviously the black side of the board is going to be in a more defensive position more often than not. The white side can be a little bit more aggressive more often than not, but there are positions or times where being aggressive either way isn't the play. And that's something that I'm trying to kind of reel myself in, trying to tell myself, listen, it's okay. I don't have to be the first to take. I don't have to be the first to make a move. Sometimes it's just okay to hunker down. Oh my goodness, that was a spoiler alert. Okay, technical difficulty there. We accidentally went to the end of the match. This is a disaster of a game, even to review. Continuing to put some pressure onto the queen here. We are defending this against the other king, or the other knight twice, 3 times, truthfully. Queen is going to move this direction. I'm going to defend with my queen. He's going to put some pressure over here, which is not super awesome. We do have kind of a counterattack in the works, so if he initiates, we end up winning on material. And I'm putting a bit of a fork in here. So if I'm able to take this, I'm now going to have 2 pawns on a single file. I'm going to open up the D file. If he decides to not move for whatever reason, I'm going to take a knight for free. And so he does move. This is protected. That's totally fine. I decide that this trade is worth taking. It was not worth taking. According to the engine, at least, it changed literally nothing from my position in being down at a disadvantage of about 80%, maybe even 90%, to still being down about 90%. I am up on material, but my position is worse. And with him deciding not to take, him deciding that he wanted to protect his bishop as opposed to take my bishop and trade out, this actually flips it. I'm at about a 55% advantage now with my positioning and with my material advantage. I do decide to take. He decides to take here, which I actually did not even see. Even now looking at this, this wasn't something that was even on my radar as a possibility for him to participate in. So taking here, and he counterattacks with his bishop taking my pawn. And the crazy thing about this is I can't take because I'm going to lose my rook to this dumb pawn that's protecting. However, it does mean I do get to protect my bishop if I wanted to. Of course, I didn't want to because my brain vacated the premises while I was playing this game. I decided, well, maybe if I put some pressure on this pawn, that would be a wonderful thing to do. He ends up taking because of course he does. Why wouldn't he? I literally could have done anything else. I could have moved up here, you know, closing this off to the queen. I could have moved back, protecting my own rook. I could have done so many other things than move pawn to b5 to pressure another pawn. What? What am I doing? This is why I'm not good at chess. But you guys don't watch for the incredible gigabrain plays. You guys watch for my personality and for the smooth brain plays that we all get to laugh at together collectively when I react. Now, with him not taking here, I'm thinking, okay, he's not going to take. Well, I'm going to put some pressure on this queen then. Move this queen out of here for whatever reason, which he does do. He decides to take a long stretch way over to g3. He's now nowhere near here. It opens up a lot of possibility for me because now I can put some pressure on this pawn. I can move this pawn up, and now I'm pressuring over here. I have some options to bring my queen out of this position because it doesn't need to protect anymore. And so I end up deciding to move my rook to g8. What was I thinking this game? Like, what am I thinking? The only thing that this does is give the bishop a line on my rook, which just wastes another move if I need to move. I think the initial idea in this game was to protect from the queen putting pressure here, but my rooks are connected on the same file. Even if he comes down here and takes, I'm getting the queen for a rook. That's a pretty good trade when I'm even on material right now. So moving the rook over was just really dumb, really stupid. This move was surprising to me because I move away. I'm out of it. It doesn't really matter. I don't know why this pawn move right here actually shifts the game not into my favor, but maybe about a 60%, 65% advantage to white. Whereas moving my knight out of the way flips it back to an 80% advantage for white. I'm not 100% sure why. I don't know why this position is considered bad or not advantageous. I suppose because now my knight is stuck. He's not in a great spot. However, if this moves, then I take, and then if he takes, I take. Like there are options here. It's not completely lost. At least from my perspective when I was playing the game. He decides to move up here. I decide to pressure for the queen trade. So originally this is protected. Originally this is protected right here. And as soon as I see him move, I decide, hey, let's offer the queen trade. The queen trade is probably good for me in this position. I can get rid of the queens. And then I've still got both of my rooks lined up. I've got my knight kind of on his back rank. So in my mind, this is working out for me. I'm still at a massive disadvantage. This entire game, I'm at a huge disadvantage. And then he decides to move bishop f7. And this is a very strange move to me because we go from him having a 90% advantage over me, close to 90%, maybe 80% advantage over me, to essentially losing the game in this one move. He is down to the 20%. It flips almost immediately because I get to initiate the queen trade. He takes the queen trade, and now I'm losing the game again. Which is just so crazy to me. I need somebody to explain to me or help me understand what are the appropriate times to trade queens. Because I feel like if you feel that you are in a positional advantage, if your pieces are slightly better, if you've got a little bit of a better structure, then trading the queen is okay. It also prevented me from losing a rook in this position. However, looking at this right now, I'm realizing this in real time, okay? I need you all to understand. I sit down and I look at a game and I just tell you what I see and I tell you what I was thinking in the moment. What I'm thinking in the moment here is I'm going to do this. It's going to get rid of this pawn, which means literally nothing because I have nothing that can diagonally attack on the board right now. And I'm going to trade the queens. All right? Why would I do this? He already has doubling pawns on the F file. And all I need to do is take with my queen. If I take with my queen here, I can also take this pawn. I'm speechless at my own stupidity, okay? Take a look at this and burn this position into your memory. Do not do what I do. Use my games as a cautionary tale of why you should open your eyeballs and just look at a few things for more than 8 seconds. Okay, this is a bad play. Not a bad play. I mean, this is the only play that keeps my rook alive, but as soon as he moves away, I am now worse because I cannot take here. It's a double trade. He's going to get a rook for free. And so I decide, let's move the king out of check. And I believe the next move I make, well, if he hadn't moved his pawn down, the next move I would have made was putting some more pressure on the rook here with king. Possibly, try to get the king more into the middle of the board here so it's a little harder to pin me down to an edge. He does move his pawn up, which me taking, again, was a bad play, I guess. It switches it flips the advantage over to white a little bit more on the engine analysis. By the way, still trying to figure out how to get this engine analysis bar to show up on the side without me having to change everything every time I record. So if you guys know, I don't know if like Stockfish lets you make it look like chess.com or what. I haven't looked into it. If you got any suggestions, please let me know. I'd love to hear them. So we are now going to put some pressure on the bishop. Totally fine. Bishop's going to move. I'm going to now double my rooks on the D file. This seems like a good idea to me. Okay, this seems like a good idea to me because when they're on the same file, my goodness, I hit my water bottle and messed everything up. When they're on the same file, I can protect here. I can put some pressure. If I get them doubled up over here, I can kind of corner his king in the corner. So I'm liking the look of this a lot. And I decide, okay, wait a minute. We can put the king into check here. I'm protected by the knight, which I really like. This was a strange position for him to move, I thought. He takes, I take, putting pressure on this rook with my knight. And now I'm able to put pressure back on the rook. And now we are sitting at a 50-50 game. Okay, we went from me losing the game the entire time because of my dumb eyeballs not working the way that they're supposed to, and my brain being apparently 4 steps behind where it should have been, to an even game now. We've got 5 minutes left on the clock for him, 4 minutes and 20 seconds, 19 seconds left on the clock for me. We are on move 32. We still have 40 moves in this chess match, okay? Because it gets wild. It gets wacky out here. I decide to put some more pressure, and unfortunately, I don't even see that bishop is able to take here. Fortunately, my opponent is also blind and did not see that he could have taken here. And so I decide to put him back into check because I've got my rook on the d file. He's sitting back here. He's not doing anything. He's not defending the king from anything. And so if I'm able to do this and he moves and I take, oh, baby, are we in business? That's not what happens. My opponent is not that dumb, which is a good thing. We're happy about that. I'm not happy about it, but I am happy that I'm playing against somebody who has a semi-functioning neurological network in their head. So that's good. Now, this I thought was pretty gigabrain, okay? I'm thinking in this position, I've got a fork on the rook and the bishop. I can go either direction. I'm happy to get a trade of equal value so that I don't have to worry about my rook getting taken on some weird diagonal that I miss. I'm also happy to get extra value, an extra value meal out of the rook over here. He does decide to put me into check. That means I have to move. He decides to clean up a few of these pawns that are just chilling out, and I decide to do the same. Now, in this situation, I don't actually know what the better position might have been. However, cleaning up some of the pawns to stay relatively even on material felt like a good play. He puts me into check, I move out of the way. He puts me into check again, I move out of the way. He ends up, for some reason, taking the pawn instead of my knight. I have no idea why. I am now at like a 90% favorite to win this game because he targets a pawn instead of a knight, putting me back into check. I can't take his bishop. I literally can't do anything. I suppose if he goes up, I go here. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's just this is a weird position for him to take. I have no idea why he decided to target pawns. I decide, okay, let's try to stay relatively even on some material here. And in this position, I believe that this is one move away from check or checkmate, something like that, because he moves back and it's mate. It says negative M8, which I think means mate for black. There's 0% chance of white winning in this position. So I decide to move my king. I'm blocking all of this off. He moves his king over. I decide to move my rook down to put him into check again. He can't move here at all. He can move here. This is the one place he can go. He moves. I move. He moves. I move. And now he goes from having a 0% chance of winning this game to like a 25% chance, almost a 25% chance. And now he goes back down to 0. What is this move? What is D6? This is so painful to rewatch. I thought this was going to be an entertaining game. Maybe you're getting some laugh value out of this, but oh my God, this is painful to watch. Put him into check again. He can't move down because of the king here. He moves up. He is literally losing. There's no way for him to win. I move my king over and it's 50-50. Explain how this is. What do I do in this situation? Where is the check here? Where's the checkmate? If I move here, he can move here. If I move here, I put him into check, but then he just moves here or here. I'm confused. How do I get checkmate with a knight and a rook and a king? That's all I have. This is a losing game for him, and I can't figure out how to win. If I go here, he can take, right? Like what? If I go here, he can go here or here. If I go here, he can still go here. Oh, he can't go there. Oh, if I go here, where does he go? He moves something, and then what? And then it's a stalemate? I'm confused. I don't understand. If you see where a checkmate is or the path to checkmate here, please let me know in the comments, because I have not been able to figure it out. Anyways, there's less than 2 minutes left on the clock. I promise we're getting close to the end. We are at move 47. We're less than 30 moves left in the game. A lot of this is just like check, counter check. He decides to take. I decide to pressure him. He has to move. I decide to pressure him again. He decides to move into the corner. In this situation, like what? If I go here, is that checkmate? Wait, if I go here, would that be checkmate? I think it would be. I protect this. He can't move here. Okay, I'm one move away here on checkmate. Guess what? There's still 23 moves left in this game. Always look at this. Look at how dumb I am. Look at how dumb I am. Look at me and laugh. Laugh at me, make fun of me, mock me in the comments because I'm stupid. I'm dumb. Even in the most obvious positions of checkmate, I'm not hitting checkmate. I'm giving myself gray hair and stress watching this game back. Okay? He obviously moves to a position that is winning for him. This now flips his favor at like 90% to win the game. I am just trying desperately to get to a point where this is going to, I want to win this game. I have 25 seconds left. He has twice the amount of time left that I do. I am just making moves to attempt to survive at this point, okay? Every move is flipping the balance from 80% winning to 80% losing. I promise you, it is a disaster. Everything about this is disastrous. I am now putting him into check and threatening the bishop. I thought that this was pretty gigabrain. He has to move. I take the bishop. He now also had his rook. I'm in check now. This is crazy. This is the most intense game of chess I've ever played in my entire life. I move my king over to take another pawn. He moves over to protect the pawn. I decide to pass my pawn. He decides to target. I decide to move up. I am now protecting again. He decides to move to this guy. I decide to protect this pawn. I'm playing with 10 seconds left. I have 10 seconds left. He has 19. He's still up twice as much time as I am. Okay? He moves. I move. A full second. I've taken 4 seconds away from him. He attacks. I move, putting him into check. 14 seconds left. He moves, threatening my rook, but my king, as long as it stays where it is, will be totally fine. I put him into check. 11 seconds left. 8 seconds for me. We've basically tied the remaining time left. He moves. I move, threatening his rook. He moves, promoting to queen. I take his rook with 3 seconds left. He has twice the amount of time at 6 seconds left. He takes, threatening my knight. I move over to protect my pawn. He takes my knight. 3.5 seconds to 2.1 seconds left. I move over, continuing to protect the pawn. He puts me into check. I move up 2.2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. He puts me into check. It takes him this position, 2.2 seconds left. It takes him 1.6 seconds to decide to put me into check. I have 1.5 seconds left. I click away with 0.6 seconds left, and he runs out of time, and I win the worst game I've ever played in my entire life. If that is not peak entertainment in the world of chess, I don't know what is. You get to laugh at an idiot bumble around on the board for 20 minutes and win the game because I made my opponent think for 0.6 seconds longer than I did. My heart is racing. I had a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.